Hey guys, this is Bruce with Brew Noah LLC back again for another one here. As you guys can see straight from the title, I like to jump right in, but before we do, I always start my videos the same way. All glory to God, all glory to you guys as well in terms of all the support and love, everything that we're receiving from you guys. Thank you guys so much. We're loving the growth. We wouldn't be where we're at without you. But overall, let's jump right in, right? So as you guys can see, never quit, right? All right, so I want to talk about this because as times have become difficult in terms of our society and with the way things are going with platforms like AI and all these different things happening within our world that are kind of taking over and making things very difficult for the less than rich people that are out there, and they are in a mode where they feel like they just can't get out of it or they feel like they're struggling. This also applies to anybody that's going through any type of mental health, as well, in terms of things that they're battling in terms of in their mind, their own personal demons that they're going through. It even applies to relationships. People that, maybe going through a rough patch with their significant other and, are having thoughts of moving on or doing something that they probably shouldn't, right?
Sensational.
Right? So I want to talk about quitting, right? Why you should never quit. Okay? So when people quit, they feel as though the real reason why people decide to quit and move on from something is because they feel as though they have failed at something or they didn't accomplish the goal. And I want to show you or teach you more of a life hack when it comes to failure. Is that, and as you guys, if you're new to my channel, then you don't know this, but as I say in pretty much majority of my videos, failure is not real. So understand that you may have been taught by society what classifies as a failure and a winner, but in the way our world truly works, there is no winners or failures. Everything kind of just is. So when we factor that mentality in, understand something that you can only fail at something if you decide to quit, right? So what I mean by that is if you are trying to achieve a goal or you're pushing forward with anything that you have, whether it's a relationship, whether it's your career, whether it's your mental health, you've only lost once you give up. Once you have made a decision in your head that you're done and you're going to move on, that's when you have lost. That's when you have failed. But the reason why I say you should never quit is because no matter how tough things are, no matter what you're going through, as long as you continue to push, you will win every single time. Like, I want you to really think about that. So think about anybody that you look up to or anybody that's like a role model for you and you kind of ask them for advice on different things. They'll all tell you the same thing. They just didn't quit. You know, you're gonna have shortcomings and you're gonna have make mistakes and you're gonna have failures along the way in terms of your journey. But understand something that you have only lost that journey. You have only lost that goal once you decide to just stop going. The goal is to always move uphill, to always be pushed forward, to always push forward no matter what, and to never give up because it's extremely important. And if you do, you will always win. The most successful people in the world will tell you that they just never gave up. They failed multiple times. They failed with multiple journeys. They failed with multiple attempts. They failed with multiple businesses. They failed in multiple relationships. They failed multiple times with mental health in terms of just whatever demons they're battling, right? But they overcame by just pursuing and believing in themselves, right? So we know that. We know that we must push forward. And as long as you push forward, you can literally never lose. You can never fail. Society and the way we've been trained and taught with the way we have been conditioned through our school system, with the way we have been conditioned through modern day slavery with the traditional 9 to 5, with the way we have been conditioned with the voices we hear in terms of demons and things that attack our insecurities. The whole entire objective of all of that is to keep us very low, to keep our spirits down, to remove all optimism, and to force us to just quit, right? But understand something, as long as you don't quit, you will always win, right? So I'm encouraging everyone out there who has a goal that they want to achieve something to just always push forward. Because failures are just building blocks for success. That is all failures are. It is literally just building blocks for success. If you really want to look at failures as a whole, right? then I would say look at failures in a different perspective. When we want something, us humans, right? We want instant gratification with everything that we're trying to achieve and everything that we want. We want it right then and right now, right? That's just who we are. We're very impatient individuals. I know I'm an extremely impatient individual. But at the same time, sometimes, well, every time when it comes to overcoming adversity, the journey is more important than the actual goal itself. Let me give you an example of that. If you are someone who decides, hey, you know what, I want to get rich, right? And you say, I want to get rich, right? And then you pray to God, and God said, done. And within a day or so, somehow, maybe a stock that you invested in or a business that you have, all of a sudden, just overnight, became extremely successful, right? And then you're granted that money. You may look at that story and go, that is a beautiful story, Bruce. I don't understand where you're going with this. What's your angle? And I'm going to say, well, listen. If you're granted success at a very, I say, young age, or at a success at a point where you haven't really been through adversity, you will fail. There's no secret that majority of lottery runners are broke within a year. And if you don't believe me, look it up. But majority of all lottery winners, like 98% of all lottery winners, are all typically broke within a year to 2 years. Do you know why? It's because they were blessed very early with a certain amount of finances, right? But they didn't have the skill or the mentality or the mindset to manage that type of money, right? They didn't go through enough adversity to know what to do with that type of money once they received it. So what happens is, whenever they receive this humongous blessing, they have no idea how to handle it, what to do with it, and they all make the same mistakes. Here's what they do. They go out, they go buy a fancy car, right? You know, they go buy a fancy house, and then you're like, oh, what's the problem with that? And it's like, oh, well, guess what? Mom, dad, cousins, relatives, you got to buy them one too, right? You know, because you say, I'm going to take care of them also, right? So you go buy them houses and cars, and then you got an entourage. You got your bros, right? You got your best friends. You know, you got your wife. You got to take care of her. You got to do all these different things. Next thing you know, within about 6 months, you spent probably $500,000, right? Just like that. And you say, you know what? That's fine. I still have 2-3 million left, whatever it is. But this entire time, you're just spending and spending and spending because you don't know how to handle those type of resources or how to invest for generational wealth. So what you end up doing is you're just out living life. You're enjoying life, which is beautiful. But at the same time, you're just blowing through all your money and you haven't built a plan or business around any of it. And then guess what? After about a year, 2 years, you're broke. I look at success that same way, which is why I say never quit. You have to go through the bumps and bruises, and you have to go through the challenges and the heartache and the pain and sometimes the feeling of just being defeated to achieve greatness. Because what happens is when you do get over that hump, you know exactly what to do. And that's where generational wealth comes from, and that's where building a solid foundation for yourself. Because whenever that blessing does come, you're ready here and you're ready here. And you know exactly what to do. But unfortunately, that never happens if you decide that you just are going to quit. Same with relationships, right? Until you have been through things in a relationship or prior relationships, it's very hard to appreciate someone that means a lot to you whenever they come in front of you, right? You know, again, if you receive something very quickly, if you just right at the gate found the perfect relationship, you may not know how to treat it. You may not know how to handle it. And God forbid, you know, there are people out there who have been married for 20, 30, 40 years to their high school sweethearts. And that is beautiful and that's lovely. But I guarantee you, when you have conversations with these individuals, they'll tell you they've been through a lot. They've been through a lot together, right? You know, that's just part of it, right? So adversity, pain, and heartache, unfortunately, comes with the job of us as humans. But I want you to know something. What makes humans so amazing and what makes humans so great and so perfect is the fact that our situations are not always ideal. Our situations are not always perfect. We're not always perfect, even though we are, right? And things happen to us, you know. We go through things. We're beat up. We're done. We mentally are just destroyed at times. You know, we're in tough situations with our job, tough situations with our finances. Things are just terrible, right? But the beautiful thing about us human beings is that no matter what, we don't give up. We never do. And that's us as a whole. I'm talking about us as an entire community of humans. We always get up and we keep moving, regardless of the trauma that we may have, regardless of the pain that we're feeling. And that is an amazing, beautiful trait that all of us humans have, to just go through things, right? And still have the courage to just get up and just push forward. But there's one thing that's missing that us humans all need. We're missing our faith in terms of believing. And when you have hope and faith and believe, right, in yourself, amazing things happen. That trauma, that heartache, those pains that you've been through, those barriers that are in front of you are not so bad once you overcome that. But you have to push. You have to see it through. You cannot give up. Because I promise you, if you give up, right, when you hit 60, 70, 80 years old, and you're on your deathbed, I guarantee you're going to be haunted with the idea of, man, I wonder what would have happened if I would have kept going. I wonder what would have happened if I would have done this. I wonder what would have happened if I would have taken a chance. There are some of you right now that are watching this that are in a situation with either their relationship or in a situation with their job, their finances, mental health, whatever it is, that are all wondering the same thing. You just gave up. And you're wondering in the moment, man, what would happen if I would do this? Or what would happen if I would do that? I'm telling you, take a chance. What do you have to lose? Just do it. Literally, just do it. Never give up. You've only lost when you throw in the towel. When you quit, that's when you've lost. But your win is coming. Your blessing is coming. Your finances is coming. Your love is coming. All of it's coming your way. Because you spoke it, right? It's coming. But you just have to keep moving. You have to keep pushing. And I know that at times that's easier said than done. But what carries you through that is your faith, and you have to believe. Give glory to the higher power. Find yourself from within, and you can achieve all. And you can achieve anything that you want out of life. You can do this. Don't let anyone ever tell you that you can't do something. Because you have the power right here. And all it takes is for you to just love yourself, believe, and all will be well. So, never give up, never quit. We love you. God loves you. Thank you guys for your time.